Hi, Denise.
Hi, Michael.
Are you ready to start this wonderful project?
I am.
So, where are we going to begin?
Well, we're going to start with Lavinia's wedding gown.
Okay.
And I want to point out this kind of crazy looking bodice, which is going to be a little perplexing maybe at first, but we're going to go through it.
It kind of looks like a Kleenex
The
box.
Kleenex, yes, we thought we'll
Is
make
that
that a
where you got the
project, a
idea?
craft project, yes. So it'll be marked on your
Yeah, this is
pattern,
your-
of course. This is my
your
working pattern. These out here are the sleeves. This is the neckline. Here's center back, front waistline, and back.
Okay.
When you put it on the fabric and cut it out, you'll pin it. You'll cut everything out, and keep the pins in, and then right away cut this center back.
Okay.
Don't take pins out. You just cut this center back, and then you'll know which is the back, and then that'll be. So you're not kind of.
Because they're identical.
They're identical. It's all it's the same.
Do we have a doll for them to see how much we're going to gather on that?
We do have a doll over here.
Okay.
Which I think she doesn't have underclothes on, but we can.
Do you want to use her?
Certainly use her.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, somebody's
You're
on
gonna,
my foot.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
And I should warn everybody, Annabella's in the room. It's just easier. So here's Lavinia.
Here's our little Lavinia.
So this is a lot of volume of fabric on that
The
little girl.
It might seem like an excess amount, but if you see the original
It's very
Lavinia in her
bouffant.
wedding dress, it's huge. It's very bouffant. She practically can stand up in it without a stand.
I think the original one does.
Okay.
Or
Yeah, I think it
can.
does. I think it can, yeah.
All right.
Okay, so the first thing we want to do is narrow hem the neckline and each of the sleeves here.
Okay.
So that's what I've done here to start. See, this is all narrow hemmed. I have gone ahead with this sample and gathered, but we're not quite there yet. Narrow hemmed, and I've folded this over 1/8 and 1/8
Okay.
to form that.
Which that gives it a nice bit of
Yes.
strength.
Now, usually we do this kind of later because we're going to try it on, but in this instance we don't have to because we're going to be gathering, and we'll gather it around the doll, and then it'll fit.
And it looks like you gather it to that little placket area, not through it.
To it, yes.
To it,
Yes. So I did the plackets first, and then I start in the back, in the rear, and end in the rear,
Okay.
not in the front.
And then how your beautiful little hems on the neckline and the sleeve,
Right.
those are what kind of fold over is that? Is it a 16th of an inch?
It ends up being about a 1/16 of an inch. So we're going to go over that. I think we've gone over this before. I don't want to be too repetitive, but we'll go over it again for anybody
All right.
who hasn't done this. And I just want to say, this is my way of doing these little hems. It's sometimes called, we call it a faux rolled hem. A rolled hem, is a beautifully rolled hem on some edges that call for that. This doesn't really call for that. And this will be quick. And so just fold these over. You could press this too if you wanted to, but I'll just try
it over,
to.
it looks like about 1/8, or maybe
It kind of becomes a little smaller when it's. This is about I think as much as I can handle folding over and sewing. I mean, I don't know that I could get it much smaller than that without
me
it all
too.
falling apart, and that's just me.
So you're basically really finger pressing this, and it seems to
Right, because you can hold it as you're going. Okay. I'm not sure if I want to put it towards you. I'll try to do this kind of
I think the way you're
sideways.
doing it
Was that
before-
okay?
uh-huh.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Okay. So
No,
we have
that's
this
it.
little fold over, and we're going to go right up into it.
Okay.
Stick it right in there. Pull the thread through,
So you're at the, really at
really
the edge
at
of
the
fold?
edge,
Mhm.
right where this edge is. Take a little stitch, and then take a stitch up. I don't hope my finger's not in the way.
I got it.
Stitch up into the fold up there, and pull. Now, because it's on the edge, you gotta try to get it so it doesn't get all caught up there. But, okay, and then just keep doing that. Because this is such a tiny little one, try to make your stitches kind of as close.
Now, what size needle are you using? Do you know?
This, I think, is a 10.
10, which is what
Yeah.
I like to use.
Yeah. I think I used to use 12s all the time, but I don't think that's really necessary. They bend, and so, yeah. And just keep going for about an inch or so. And because I'll pull, then after a while, maybe an inch or so, you want to pull it. Because this is close edge, I'm going to hold the edge there and pull this thread. Well, I'm going to fold it over. Pull this thread, and then that's. I pulled it a little tight, but that's the little tiny. The little tiny.
It just pulls. Oh yeah, that's a fabulous technique.
And for such a tiny doll, I think it's pretty effective.
So it's a lot this is a lot easier than the average rolled hem.
Rolled hem, you know, I would have to practice that because I haven't really come across a need for
Well,
that.
clearly you haven't done your fanny kits yet.
I know it, and I do admit that I have not. I do admit that, but I know Jeffrey's got it all down for us. I'm not. Okay.
Bless you.
And then when you press that,
This is a working place here, people.
So does that make
Yes.
sense?
Oh yes. And I'm going to get in. And if you can hold it up to the camera, do a little more because I
Okay,
think
sure.
it's really.
Sure.
David woke up Annabelle.
She was on my foot a minute ago. Oops.
She wouldn't miss a sewing workshop for anything.
No, she'll be back. See, I'm just folding it as I go.
And then you just fold it as you go,
And
and then you go about an inch before you you pull.
Yeah. And yeah, it's not an exact science here, but
Perfect. All right. Well, we'll finish this and we'll come back.
okay. Okay, now we're back, and we're going to gather around the neckline and the sleeves. Right where we've done that little tiny hem, we're going to do a double row of gathering. And that's really so it's easier to pull. You can tie it off, and it's nice and neat. But you don't have to follow the other row like you would with cartridge pleating, which has to be, the same stitch, same, all along the way. So we don't have to do that. So now it's going to look like this.
Okay.
Okay. Then the next thing, well, it's going to look like this. And here we have the little sleeves. It's starting to look like a bodice. It's very long, elongated, but at least you can see that there are sleeves and, the back's right here.
So you've sewn the
Yes.
side seams and the underarms. And what kind of seam allowance have you used?
An eighth.
An eighth. Okay.
So what you'll do is, this is the right side. This, sides together. And you'll just sew a little seam right along there, right, like
Just
a little
a
L.
running stitch?
Yes, a little running stitch on both sides, and then it'll look like that.
Okay. So,
Then what you want to do is do the same kind of gathering stitch along the bottom here.
okay. And it looks like it's about 1/4 of an inch from the,
Exactly, yes,
First.
from
of course,
this.
that'll be in their instructions.
Yes,
but-
it will.
But it's 1/4 of an inch, and again, now does this look like have you tried to match these stitches, or is it again?
No, I
random?
haven't.
Okay, so it's random.
It's random. It's just, the way you do it is probably going to be close, but it's not, it doesn't, on a cartridge, pleating has to line up very nicely and very evenly. This is just going to gather.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, then we're going to turn it inside out. I know that sounds strange, but turn it inside out.
'Cause now we got to fit it. don't
And
we?
now we have our girl, yeah. Now we're going to use our little girl here. Okay, so we're going to pull, let's see, here they are. Let's pull this. And let's see.
And
I'm
they'll
gonna
have
look at
thread in their kit, so
Oh,
that
yeah.
they use that thread, because you
Right.
don't want to use something that's going to break, because then you have to do it all over.
Oh, I hate doing that. Okay, let's see. I still have to go farther because we're going all the way around
That's a lot of
to
volume.
the back.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And you want to do it evenly.
And it's on her so that we can see how far to pull, right?
And I love that the garment itself is the decoration
Oh, yeah.
with the ruffle.
Well, but yes, and we'll put a little bit of lace on later.
Could they do the lace now if they wanted to?
No.
No. Okay,
No.
later.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what I do is just pull it, the back together and pin it. So we have something to,
And the good
Kinda
news
pull
about a
against.
cloth body, we can just
stick it right, yeah. I don't know if my pins are very sharp anymore. Okay, there we go. And we want this to be, I'm not tying it off way down here. I do want it to be up just at,
at the shoulder.
At this point.
It is very off the shoulder, this garment.
and afterwards, after you're finished, you'll have enough leeway so that you could pull it down if you wanted to. So, just trying to get this kind of.
You just have to fuss with it.
Yeah, tiny little dolls like this, it's a lot of fiddly stuff, but if you're patient, it'll happen. Yeah, I know about that. Okay, so I think that's where I want it to be. This is very long. I'm going to cut it a little bit. Gave it a little tug, but didn't pull too much.
Now, you're doing this by hand, but this could be done by machine, couldn't it?
I'm sure it could. For me, it's just so tiny.
Yeah. Yeah, when it's this tiny.
It's easier for me to do, but I know people are very good with their machines. I tied this off, 4 times. Just
I
cut
mean,
it.
sometimes for me, these little dolls, you could do it by machine, but then you gotta get up. You gotta walk across the room. You gotta put thread in the machine.
Thread in the machine. Yeah. Okay, so I've got, she's got her little sleeve threads here too. Okay, we got all right, a little bit out of the way. So I'm going to do the same thing for her waist.
And I mean, these are all handmade, so each one has to be fitted because they can be variations on
Well, the cloth bodies, how they're stuffed.
When we were setting this up, we accidentally almost had a problem because we had one doll that the dress didn't fit, and then it didn't fit, and then we realized it was Tom.
I know. I said, Michael, this looks like a teenager. Look how short her dress is.
Tom was wearing a dress.
And it was Tom. He looked like a cute little boy, actually. Oh, all right. Okay, and then, this down here, we gotta, if you tie it up too tight, you'll have a little gap back there.
Yeah, we can't have that.
So we don't really want that.
No.
So let's do another little
We would
pin
have no
here.
excuse for a gap,
No, we don't need it.
not with this much volume of fabric.
Where is it? There it is. Okay, so if you're kind of happy that it's around her waist, it's not, that tight, but it is, see,
Yeah, snug enough.
snug
Mhm.
enough, yeah. Okay. Whoops. White on white, black on black is hard. Okay.
Well, we should be teaching this with black thread, but we.
Oh, I know,
We want to
right.
make a garment that we can look at.
Yeah.
We don't want to have the wedding dress of the century have black thread.
We'd have to throw it away. We don't want to do that.
No.
Right. And now the sleeves.
I think that would probably be one of the most important gathering because it is so small.
It's very small, and I don't want to gather it way up here where this is showing. Now, there will be a little bit of lace, but just a little bit showing. It's not a big cuff or anything. So I did it right about there. Okay. If you find that it's too loose, you can always put a thread in, a stitch later on.
Sure.
And take a couple little
Or you
extra
can just,
gathers.
Or you can just take it out and do it again.
You can do that. And if it's too tight, you might have to.
Yeah. And when the camera bumps, you know
We
that
know
is
what that is,
That's
yeah.
Miss Piglet getting comfortable, or not. She's leaving us.
Well, we're not too interesting, actually.
Yeah, she's like, this is not what I
We're
want to
not
do
eating.
today. No.
Am I getting it? I am.
You got it.
Might be a little tight, but let's see. Okay, so that's pretty much how it is. And after we're done, we're going to steam it and put some little, folds in it like that. So this is it for the bodice for right now. We're going to put a little waistband on.
Okay, is that next?
Yes, that will be next.
Okay, we'll get the things prepared and we'll be back.
Okay, so the next step we're going to do is press the bottom of the bodice. And it's in the instructions, but what I did, I took this off of her and I turned it right side out. See, it had been on inside out to pull the strings, and now it's right side. And so I'm gonna stand up a bit. Oh, there it goes. And just press this down a bit.
So you're just pressing to the
To this
stitching line?
gathering line, yeah.
Okay, which leaves the rest of it bouffant.
Yes. And the reason I'm doing this is because we're going to attach the waistband here, and it's easier to attach it if it's flat than.
Yeah, but you don't
If it's
want, you don't want it, anything else flat.
No, I don't.
Okay.
See this? And this teeny tiny, it's a cricket. Teeny tiny little iron is perfect for that. Really is. Okay.
And those are for sale in the boutique.
And they are.
Yeah.
And,
I
oh,
love-
and this.
I love them. And I love these
This mat, it's, I guess, layers of felt put together, and it's
I use
portable,
mine every day.
and, yeah.
I use mine every day. Mine looks like someone might have been murdered on it, but.
But that's okay.
it's- Okay. so-
And, oh, sorry, I just went, this is,
Denise is reading her own instructions.
are you, am I on camera?
Yeah.
I am still? Okay, waistband, 1 inch by 3.5 inches, straight of grain, okay?
We forget stuff.
We forget, goodness. Okay, but we're all friends, right?
Right, yes.
Okay, so we're gonna put this on, and we're going to put it, this doesn't, either side is right, but it's right side to right side, basically. And we're gonna put it on here, the edge, and we've got a little bit overlap at the ends,
Just a tiny bit.
tiny bit, 1/4 inch. And I'm just gonna pin it. And I'm not, not stretching this out, I'm just putting it together.
Yeah, just laying it out.
Just laying it down. Here, I think I'll do this edge. Ooh.
That's Annabelle.
Okay. Let me just do that edge too, make sure we have enough. See, they're just so little, but it's so much fun. And the reason we have a little edge a little 1/4 inch at the edges, we're going to fold it over and make it neat.
And are you going to follow the sewing line of the gathering?
I'm going to be right below it.
Right below it, okay.
So, I'll be sewing right about there.
Okay.
Okay. She's looking at me.
Well, she's very inconvenienced by all this.
Okay, just took in a little back stitch at the edge. There we go.
So you're doing fairly small stitches, about 10 per inch or so.
Yeah.
But if we small,
I can't say it's exactly, kind of
you know what's
sew by ear.
right. Yeah,
Whatever you want to say.
but they're small,
Yeah, they're small.
particularly on a small garment. I think it's important. Well, we'll get this sewn and we will
Be right
come back and show the next step.
Okay. Okay, so now I had placed the waistband on the bottom of the bodice, and we've sewn all the way across, and now I'm going to press it. Oops.
So you're pressing it down. Okay.
Right at the seam line. Okay. And then what we're going to do is put it up about, big 1/4 inch in like this. We're almost kind of folding it doubled, and then the waistband will look like that. So first, I'm just going to press, see, fold this end in. Press that down, make it easier, make life easier. And the other side. Want it. Bring it up. Gosh, that's just a 1/4 inch. It's almost to the end here.
And this is going to give it the a nice
Yeah,
strength.
at this size, yeah, if a single layer or almost, it would be kind of flimsy, I think.
Look at that, and it has to hold the whole skirt. too,
Right,
doesn't it?
right. There's going to be a lot of fabric.
And
hanging
there's
from
going to
it.
be a lot. Get ready, people.
Right. And so you can see the stitching here, the
Stitching
gathering, yes, stitch. And I'm just going to put it up to about the
that's
middle
beautiful.
of it. The middle, I guess. I'm doing this kind of the other hand.
Just like they did in 1864.
Right. Okay. Okay, so being all pressed makes it easier to sew, I think. Okay, let's just pin it a little bit. No.
So you're just pinning in a few areas.
Yeah, and I pin it across this way because I'm going to be sewing like this. And I don't want the pins in the way.
Almost like an overcast stitch.
Yeah. You know, make your hemming, hem stitch. So what I generally do is try to go in here somewhere, and it's kind of small. And anyway, try to hide the knot. Come up there, and then I check to make sure I didn't go through this side, and pull it through. And now, okay, I'm going to take that out. Now I'm going to sew this closed.
And that right there gives it strength for the back.
Yeah. Closure, and we're going to put a little hook back there too. Okay, so that side is closed. And then we just go right across. Sometimes a little bit sticks out.
It's a little hemming stitch, basically.
Yeah, it is. Whoops, okay, this happens. Is this real life? Wait, what
happens
was
to
it?
them.
Oh, you know what, it was,
It happens to everybody.
it was, yeah, it did happen to me. Okay, should we say what happened, or should we pretend? Okay, I think what happened, here, if you can see this, there's the knot in my thread. So when I pulled it through, it got caught up on something and it didn't go all the way through. I've sewn so many stitches, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm
No.
not taking this out. And so I'm just going to cut it off. And
Yeah.
that's what, no.
Yeah, that's what
I
it
don't know
is.
if anybody wants to see that, but yeah, okay.
It
It
happens to everybody.
happens. Well, sometimes you don't want to be too good a seamstress because then when you take it out, it's really hard.
Yeah. Well, in class, when they make a mistake.
Well, we
take
do
it
make
out.
them, they know that, don't they? We do, yeah. Well, you're not going to say it's good or it's right
No,
when it's not. And then you have to go off and do the next step.
No crying in class.
No, we don't. Because it's too much fun anyway. I'm just going right in there, taking teeny tiny. But there's no way to really hide. The stitches are there, but I don't think you
No.
can
Oh, no,
really
no. No, I
see
think
them
that-
that much. So,
Actually, you can appreciate them when you see those nice
teeny tiny.
uniformed tiny
Okay,
stitches.
I got a knot
So we'll
here.
finish this and we will be
Got
back.
a knot. Okay, so we've finished the bodice for now, and we put on the waistband. It looks a little bigger in the back, and it's about 1/4 inch in the front.
Lovely. Should we try it on?
Okay,
Just
let's
to
try it
see-
on.
Let's try. We didn't do that, did we?
No, we didn't. We had it on backwards, actually.
Fit as your doll to your doll as you go.
As you go is right. Okay, I did do this one a little tight, I have to admit, so I might do that over. Remember we were saying, if you're in class, you have to do it over. Whoops, now it goes up, okay. There we go.
She just needed a
Little tug. She does need a little tug for those little cloth arms. Let's see.
I think you got it.
It bunches up. See, it is going to be bunched up a little like that.
Yeah, it's kind of poof over.
Yeah. Okay. So now we can set that aside and go to the skirt.
Okay, so it looks like you have a very large skirt here.
This is very long. It's 26 inches, and it's just about the same measurements as the original Lavinia.
I mean, you measured that
I
pretty
did
accurately.
measure it, yes.
Which is not easy to do since it's not laying flat.
Right.
Okay, so what have you done
Okay.
to this?
So what I did.
Tell me what you've
If,
done.
if you like, you can put a little bit of, I guess, nail polish or something on here. With all these, I try to keep and cut them off as I go, but usually I don't worry too much about them. But the top, I've folded over 1/4 inch and pressed. This is
Okay.
the top. The bottom
The
was,
hem.
yes, the hem was over 1/4, and then
And it looks like about 2
it's
inches,
about a 1.5.
1.5.
One, yes, it's, okay. This is pressed down about an 1/8, actually. It's supposed to be pressed down 1/8, and then 1 1/4
Okay,
up.
so an eighth,
It's in the instructions.
it's in the eighth at the top,
And then, yes,
the-
so
the big
say.
hem is 1 1/4.
Right, so say this is an 1/8. We've pressed it over, and then like that. And then you can measure 1 1/4.
Okay, that
And
would be
then-
on the hem.
Yes, and then hem it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, we've done all that because
done all
it's-
that.
Because it could be tedious at 26 inches.
It could be.
All right, so
Okay,
what
I'm-
is the next step?
I'm moving the little felt board over so that we have room. And the
Okay,
next
we'll get ready
step-
for the next step and we'll be right back.
Okay, so we've pressed down and the top of the skirt, and we've pressed over the bottom of the skirt and hemmed it down all the way across. I'll flip it to the right side. We're gonna have 2 layers of 1-inch lace.
Oh, that's 2 inches.
2-inch lace, excuse me. I know
lace.
it's 2 inches, I really do. Okay,
2 inches.
all right. And, well, you want to decide which is the right side and which is, and I can't tell you from,
You have to
I
feel
just
it.
look at it.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
feel
know how to,
Well, as long as you put it consistently.
consistently, sure. And there's a nice little scallop at the bottom, so I put it just to peek over, kind of where that scallop point
top of
is.
the point,
Yes. Okay. And
So
then
you've got a tiny little overhang.
just a little bit, yeah. Okay, let's see. I don't know here. And it's the same length as the skirt. Okay, I think this went up a little bit. That's the way I cut it. Okay. It's catching
This is a serious amount of lace.
on the glove, yes.
50 inches of lace.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that doesn't sound like that much, but when the doll is, you know, a miniature, it's...
All right. Was she 5.5?
I can't remember. I think it, yeah, but that sounds about right.
He's 6 and she's... Okay, you know what? I have to stand up.
Well, do whatever, however you do it.
Maybe it's being short. I don't know. You know, I really didn't know I was short growing up.
You're not short. You're not
I
short.
just realized it later in life, but by then, it didn't matter. Okay. Oh, got it. Okay. So then we're going to just do a simple running stitch along. You see this little header here? There's a running stitch along there. And then we'll start with this one again. Put
And
this
we're
one.
going to put that
It's going
right.
to overlap. Let me pull it over.
Looks like you're laying it so that the roses line up
Yeah.
kind of right with your
right,
header.
pretty much there.
But they could do whatever they...
It can be, you just want to overlap it. I suppose it could be up here.
It's better overlapped, I think.
A little bit, yeah.
So it looks like about a half an inch. Yeah, it looks like about a half an inch.
Well, we can see.
Yeah, let's measure
We
it.
can measure.
So we don't want to give out the wrong information.
I hate this black part, so I'm going to start there. And it is 5/8, I don't know. So half an inch.
Yeah, I'd say half an inch. That's easy to remember. All right. So
And then again, you'll sew that.
all right, we're gonna
Okay.
sew
We're gonna
this
sew
all
that,
up,
yep.
and we're just gonna use a running
Just
stitch.
a running stitch, just a little running stitch.
Okay, we'll do that, and we'll be back.
Okay, so we put down the lace and with a running stitch gone through and laid each one down. This one, we're saying half an inch, and that is true, pretty much. But you also want to sort of at least meet this, see where the hemline is here?
So can you turn that the other way? Too,
Yes,
so then
like this.
all right, and maybe just flip it all the way around so I can see it.
The other way?
Yeah, the other way. Just turn it.
Oh, so turn it around.
Yeah, there we
There
go.
we go. Okay. But so you can, I don't know, just, at least there's not a gap there. It's
Right.
kind of
It's just
meeting
meeting,
that hem.
And it adds some nice.
It's just,
weight there.
just something to think about, right?
But they can do it how they like.
That's right.
If they wanted to go farther down, they could. All right, so what's the next
Now
step?
we're going to put the back seam in. And, oops, see, get this. Actually, I mean, if you want to, you can baste this down if you feel you need to or it helps. I'm just going to hold it right here and match these up. Again, I have to stand up. Okay. See, I'm just matching that down there. This is a little off up here, but we'll fix that. At least it's at the hem. We want it to really match.
I think that's more important, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Okay. There, so we have that with a little bit of lace over. Okay. Pin it. And then here again, you want to match that up. And just try to match everything as we go. to fudge this a little. Because it's not an exact science, but
Well, and it's slippery too. So.
it is. All right. Just about anything is fixable, I think. Okay, and we'll go, let me get the measuring. So, from the top of the
Fold.
fold, we're going to go down about an inch.
Okay.
And again, that's not absolutely exact, don't worry about it. You just want to get her in, and
So that she can get her.
she can get in, sure.
She can get her little rear past
Her little
that.
rear in there. And then we're going to sew this, I would give this about 1/4 of an inch seam up to here. I'm going to give that a little. Okay, and then when we can, the next step, we'll be folding this over each side, and we'll eventually put a hook there.
And that'll be just at the fold overs, just at the back opening.
Yes, just
Okay.
the back, because we're going to do a seam up to about here.
Okay, we'll do that and
We'll do that.
come back.
Yeah. Okay, so when we left, we were seaming the back seam. What I did was I trimmed a little bit off, a little extras, just to neaten it up, and then overcast it up to here. Then the next thing we're going to do is fold these over and just do about 1/8, and then 1/8 again. It's slippery, turning right under to here. Let's see if I can kind of finger press it. It might be easier.
Yeah, it's such a small spot
Yeah.
that you're working with about an inch, so it's kind of hard to get it.
Okay, so pretty much get a spot like that. All right, there we go. And then do the same on this side. Got a little fringing there, so we're going to do a little more. There we go.
It'll all fold
Yeah,
in.
it'll fold in. Okay. So it's something like that.
Perfect.
And then we're just going to do a little hem stitch down here. I'll stick the needle across through there and then hem back up there.
All right.
Okay?
So we'll sew that and
And
we
then we'll
will
come
come back.
We closed up the back the back seam, I keep saying hem, back seam, and we've made this little opening here and sewn along this little hem line here. And the next thing we're going to do is cartridge pleating. Okay, turn it inside out. And we already have this little 1/4 of an inch fold here. And so start the cartridge pleating, and this is so tiny. We're going to start, I don't even know what to say, a 1/16, I don't know, way up towards the edge of this fold. And you don't want to do them, like normally on a hooray or something, I would probably do this. So we want these to be quite a bit smaller. But I have to tell you, if they're too tiny, you barely can see them when you go to sew it to the bodice. But they still do have to be kind of small. Now, I took a huge, long length of thread, and I usually do fine with that. Some people will go halfway through and take another and pull them in like that. You can do whatever makes you more comfortable. It's fine. I know we've done these a lot in workshops. Okay, so just,
So it looks like you're doing about a
just
16th of an inch length of the stitch.
well, see, I've got this long.
Yeah, don't you think that's about a
Yeah,
16th
maybe.
of an inch? The width of the,
Or is it an eighth? It might be an eighth.
yeah,
do you
maybe an
think?
eighth. Let's measure it.
Oh, no.
No?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, let's measure it, just so that we give them.
So we know, all
'Cause
right.
I think this is the most important part of this particular dress, don't you? Getting the
It's gonna just make it, yes.
Voluminous.
Voluminous, make it beautiful. So we're trying to look at the, what does it say? White on white, it's tough. That just says an eighth, I think, you're right.
it's about an eighth, huh?
Or I'm right, or whatever, it's an eighth, it is.
Okay, so you want to make your stitches about an eighth.
Yes. And so we're going to stitch all the way across here until we get to
The end.
this side, and then we're going to leave a long thread. Then we'll come again on this side, and I'll just show with, I think I'll show it this one. Start exactly where you did before. Keep them about, it's going to be maybe this is 16th from the top, and just follow them along. Follow
To
where
mirror-
where
perfectly
you,
mirrored.
yeah, the best you can.
All right, well, we have a lot of work to do.
So that's, yeah. And then we have to, and when we pull them, and we'll do that later, but then they'll be evenly folded. Nice little, neat little fold. That'll be easy to sew.
All right, well, we'll get that done, and we'll come back and show you the results.
I've done all the cartridge pleating around here, as you can see. Gone all the way around and ended up here with some long threads hanging. And now we're going to turn it right side out. And pull. Okay, one thing I should say, to show everybody, is this is the bodice, remember?
Be afraid,
This,
people.
be very afraid. This all has to go into here.
And we can do it.
I think we can.
We can do that.
I think we can. So just pulling. Just take your time.
It's taking shape.
We're getting there. Oh, we're about there. Okay. So I pulled it all up. They're pretty tiny. Magnifying glass might be helpful here. Let's see how little they are.
Oh, yeah, it's so tiny. And they look all very uniform, so
Pretty.
good
pretty
on
much,
you.
Pretty much. Okay.
Good on you.
All right, this is about a yard long. I'm going to cut this a little bit, not a lot. I don't want to lose the whole thing, whole pleating. Now this, okay, has to go onto here. So this is the bodice, this is the outside, that's the waist. So the waist is going to be sewn onto here on the waistband. I'm going to turn it over and go right side to right side. Okay, first, and people may also do this different ways, but I'll just show
Or were you going to show them your way?
how I do it. Okay, so match this up pretty closely. It's just one side of it. I don't know if I do this side because I'm right-handed, I don't know. But I just, you do the same thing and
Whatever, you're comfortable.
get good results, yeah. And then don't worry about the middle part, but bring this up over here to the other side. And then match, see that's our skirt opening. And there's this side, or the back opening. Put that there. It's sticking to my fingers. I didn't get it stuck. Okay. I think I have calluses, it sticks.
I think you got calluses, but as any good
Okay.
sewer would have.
Now we have to look in here, see where it is. Okay, it's so tiny, but it's so cute. All right. And we just need to match this up. So my fingers are all in here, but see, I still have hold of this little thread. Okay. It looks like it's pretty much matching up.
Perfect.
Then there, and I'm going to find the middle and pin it. And you can put in as many pins as you like. I still haven't tied this off because I still
You want to
still
manipulate it.
fiddling with that, yeah. That's our iron. Okay.
I think that's pretty good, Denise, don't you think?
So I think it's in there. I want to make sure that stays there, doesn't move. Okay, yeah, there. So see, it's possible.
You've gotten 26 inches into how many inches?
3.5, 3.25,
so
something like that.
it can
And
be done.
that's why we cartridge pleat.
Yeah, you'd never, if you did big pleats, you'd never get that. So what's the next step in this?
The next step, let's see, let me get needle here. Oops. Hold on a second. Okay. Now, let's see. Again, I start from this side. Oh no, okay. Excuse me. I tie this off first. Got ahead
Yeah,
of
I think at
myself.
this point we
Yeah.
can tie it off.
Yeah, I got ahead of myself. Okay. Okay, where are we? Okay, now. Oh. Right, I just want to sew, start on the edge here. Now don't worry about hiding threads. This is so tiny. And then just overcast this.
So you're going into the folds.
Yes, well, not yet. Right here is almost kind of before the folds. It's just the side.
Okay.
It is the waistband. And this, right here is the waistband and the back opening. And I might get my little magnifying thing. Oh, yeah,
Okay.
there we go. Hi. Where's the Yeah, there we go. Okay. Sometimes just, okay. All right. right there, and this is sticking me, I'm gonna take it out because we've already sewn that. Okay, so the first fold I see is right here. So go in here, the waistband, and catch the tip of that fold.
Okay. So this is basically going to be a hanging skirt. It's going to hang
That's
off.
true, yes, it hangs. And as you go, after you're through, you can look at the front, turn over, look at the front, and make sure you haven't missed any. If you have, don't worry about it, just take a stitch and stitch up that little fold. Happens sometimes.
And this is something you really need to take your time to get done.
Yeah,
Because you just want
and
to...
it's just so tiny. Oop. Oh, you know what? I fogged up my...
You're fogging up your
I
glasses?
am. That's not helping. See? Can't see. It's like wearing a mask with glasses. Oh, dear. Seriously? Okay.
Don't breathe.
Okay.
Okay, well, we will
Okay, we
finish
get-
this, and we will be back.
So we finished our cartridge pleating, as you can see. So now at least we see the dress coming to the form.
And Denise, you did a beautiful job. They're
thank
very even, and that is a lot of fabric in.
It's a lot of fabric in a small area.
Now we haven't pressed it yet. That's
No,
going to change
right.
the look.
Right, yeah, we will do that. We'll also put hooks and loops there, and we will put a little bit of lace around here and around the sleeves. And
Then it's
that'll
done.
be pretty much done.
All right.
So it wasn't too bad.
No, that wasn't bad at all. All right, we will get these little goodies done, and we'll be back.
We have to finish off the top of the bodice with a little bit of lace around the sleeves, around the little edges, and you'll sew this on right onto that little hem that you made a long time ago in the beginning. This
And we
this
just-
little
we
hem,
just
just
do it
in
on the
there.
straight?
On the straight, yes.
Okay.
And then with the neckline, and I've started it here, you want a little bit to show, about like that. And so you can sew right about where those gathering lines are.
Okay.
And this is all, this is also straight, no gathering,
Okay.
anything like that. And you'll just put it on with a running stitch. Okay. And, don't pull the gathers out, just sort of lay this down.
Yeah, you kind of
here.
really have to try to keep everything where you want it, don't you?
Yeah.
But this will also help keep them from moving.
For
too.
moving around, and yes. And then we'll not really press it, but kind of steam it into shape. And just keep looking, it's just kind of peeking out there.
And you are doing this just like the original.
Yeah, we're trying to get as close as possible to that.
I mean, they used it, for the time, they used a lot of lace on this ensemble.
They did, beautiful lace. But-
I noticed in the illustrations that Minnie's maid of honor dress had rows and rows and rows of ruffled lace.
Yeah. Well, they were the, I don't want to say they were the,
They were
The
the
stars of the
entertainment.
show.
Oh, yes,
I
they were
mean,
the
they
biggest
were-
stars in the world
Yeah.
at the time.
Yeah, so they wanted to be seen as well. They're
And they knocked
little.
they knocked the Civil War off the front. You know, gave the whole country a break.
including the president. Okay. All right. And we're going to turn this back right side out. Easier said than done, maybe, huh?
Well, they're
There we
little,
go.
They're little.
Okay. Okay, the next thing, there's one more thing to do, and that's to put a little tiny hook. One up here at the top, and one right here at the waistband.
Yeah, and that's all it needs.
Yep, and then little corresponding thread loops on either side of it. You can, I always do, I guess I always do left over right, if you're more comfortable with right or left.
I don't think it really
Do
mattered.
it, no, no,
It did not matter at that time.
no. Okay.
I've seen it both ways. In France, there's no concern with that.
They don't have a rule about, yeah. I know, I remember I was concerned that, I don't know if it was with Tom Thumb or another male doll, if the shirt was supposed to be buttoned right over left or left over right, and that wasn't.
No,
We do that, but they don't.
No.
For male and female, that they didn't. Oh, where is it? Okay.
we need a magnet.
We do. Okay. So you want to try to start it. So it's not really sticking out, but it's pretty close to the edge.
And you're within the
Yeah.
range of. And you're using a size 10 needle for this? too?
Yes, I am. And I've doubled up the thread.
The cricket is ready.
It's ready. Okay. I've done about 3 stitches around each one.
I think that's
There's,
pretty good.
yeah, we don't have any lining or anything, but I'm gonna try to get this, put this needle just through,
The inner.
yeah. And then. Okay, I have it around underneath the little hook part.
It'll keep that from
Yeah.
jiggling.
And then I am going all the way through. With a larger garment, you don't really want to see it on the outside. But I think I need the sturdiness with this
I think you do too.
fine silk and, so you will see the thread on the outside. I think that's
smidgy,
okay, just a little bit. Okay, I'll give it one more in there. And then get in there, tie it off. I don't like double thread too much. There we go. All right. There's one on, and then we're going to put the other one right here. We'll do the other one right there, and then we can do the loops. I'll put this on, and then we can do the loops,
All
I
right,
think.
we'll come back for the
Yeah.
loops.
Okay.
Okay, we're back.
Okay, and I put the dress back on the doll. I did the bottom loop here, thread loop, and then we'll do this top one. And, you know, you need to put it back on the doll and see where you're going to put it. Then you can either mark it with one of those erasable pens and then, or not erasable, but you heat it up and it disappears, or you can just put a pin in there. So I'm going to do it right there. Okay, and I'll take it back off.
And I think that for people that are going to make the whole wardrobe, I think I would wrap the doll body in cellophane to keep it fresh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's an idea. Mhm.
Yeah, you just wrap it around.
And then it slips right on and
Yeah.
off. It wouldn't, yeah. Okay, here we are. Okay,
So you're going to do this in a little darker
I am,
tone
just so
they
we can see. That pin was a little crooked, but I know where it is. Okay, so go up from the bottom. Kind, you know, pretty much in where your pin is. And then like that. You can draw a little line with a pencil. It depends on the fabric and what you're doing, how big it is. Excuse me. And this is so tiny, I'm just going to do one loop there. And I have double thread again.
So it's going to be 4 thick by the time you're done with the first, yeah.
Yeah, I don't need to go back through it again. Just stick it through.
1, loop 2, 1, 2, and you just do that till you feel the whole.
Yes, so you fill the whole thing. And if it's kind of better to be a tiny bit bigger with the first
Loop than the second.
threads going through, because you can tighten it at the end. If it's too tight to get the hook in, then you have to redo it.
So these are, I mean, I think these are very easy to do.
Yeah, they are. This just, you keep a little buttonhole stitch over and over. And I think this is pretty good, but if it were too long, then you just come in, you can kind of pull it in from behind and tighten it. And you can
Really good.
try it and it works.
I know, perfect.
And then tie it off, and then you've got the hooks. Then the next thing we'll do, we're basically finished. Next thing we'll do, we'll steam it,
Okay.
and that's it. Well, we're almost done. You can see how it's looking. What I did was just sort of push up these sleeves a bit, like this. And I put a couple of pins in here to keep this down a bit. I think I'll put one back here also.
And this is just for the steaming
Just for
process.
now, yeah, for the steam.
Well, Denise, what I think is so great about this is the dress holds her up just like the original dress does.
Yeah.
I mean, she doesn't have a stand on.
No,
now,
she
does
doesn't, no. Yes.
Looks fantastic. Okay, so
Okay,
what are we
so,
going to do now?
and the reason, I mean, it looks okay. I think it sets the garment when you steam it, so that way, you know, you're taking it on and off. It'll hold its shape a lot better. And I just did it while on her, so I could really see how I wanted it to go. And let's see if we can. I'm just holding her down by her legs. And let's see if we can get some steam going. There we go.
We have a little dripping, but it's not on her. It's not on her.
It's okay, yeah.
It's not on her. The beauty of the irons.
And then you have a little kind of bloused effect that.
So you're
originally
basically
had.
the main part you were concerned with is the bodice,
Yes.
not necessarily the skirt.
No.
Because the skirt's good.
But we were talking about maybe you could wrap up a ball of tissue paper set the dress on it, not her, the dress on it, and kind of steam it around that way. But I don't know, if you feel you need to.
Yeah,
What do you think?
I don't think it needs it. At this point, it's perfectly like a fairy tale princess at
And then
the wedding of the century.
and you take those out, and it's gonna stay. Maybe I can get her to stand again.
Well, she was doing it till,
there
we
she
go.
goes.
There we go. All right, so I guess the next step is we have to deal with a little gentleman.
We do.
All
He's
right.
gonna be fun.
We'll be back.
Okay.
Remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button.